Hello, I'm Race McKeown.
And I'm Cody Miller, and welcome to Stratazine, your source for authentic, curated content for digital and social media professionals.
On today's show, we'll take a look at the history of influencers and how they affect us.
In our tips and tools segment, we'll learn about how to become a successful influencer in the year 2025.
We have a question of the day where we focus on a topic as the main subject. Today's question is, how do influencers help frame social media marketing for brands?
I'm Cody Miller, and today I am at the crossroads where I'm asking students who is their favorite influencers and why are they the favorite of these people.
My name is Gavin Shepard.
How are you doing today, Mr. Shepard?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Doing pretty good. We're doing a podcast about podcasts and influencers. So tell me, who is your favorite influencer and why?
Off the top of my head, I think influencer is somebody that I watch on YouTube. I like to make stuff. The reason why is because he goes through 3D printing and like home improvement kind of stuff, and so I find that enjoyable and like learning. So,
Jonathan Medini. How are you doing today, Mr. Bethany? I'm doing pretty good. I just wanted to ask you, who is your favorite influencer and why?
Matt, because he's awesome. He does a lot of analysis about like video games and movies and like fast food mascots or whatever. He retired, I want to say last year about this time, and just the way that was handled was very well done, and I think it was a great way for him to bow out.
Jared King. How are you doing today, Mr. King?
I'm doing pretty good.
Just want to ask you, who is your favorite influencer and why?
I'm probably gonna go with Markiplier, just because. Well, do you want me to explain why? Or
Go ahead.
well, as a poor college student, I can't afford to buy every video game that I think looks cool, and so I get to watch his videos and kind of experience the cool stories that he can come up with through that. And he's a funny guy too. So.
I'm Spencer.
Last name?
Benson.
Well, how are you doing today, Mr. Benson?
Doing great. How are you?
Trying to do pretty good, but I just want to ask you, who is your favorite influencer and why?
Not gonna lie, I'm not really on social media that often, but of the people I do watch consistently, I would have to say probably the prophet of churches and Latter-day Saints. I was listening to one of his talks earlier, and he leads us to Jesus Christ, who helped me come close to him.
It seems to all of us here at Stratazine that from the several people that we've asked, not a lot of people have social media and thus don't have any care or opinions of any influencers. And those who do have some decently strong-worded opinions about it as such. Reporting for Stratazine, I'm Cody Miller.
We'll have the answer to the question of the day later on in our podcast.
Influencers have been a huge part of our daily life for over a decade now. We want to teach you about some of their pros and cons.
A video from our podcast covers this important topic and how we need to know what benefits and detriments are towards influencers as a whole.
Hello, everyone. Today on Stratazine, we are going to talk about the history of influencers and how it affects us today. The dictionary definition of influencers are a thing or person that influences another. So influencers have been here for quite a while, dating back to the 1800s when royalty endorsed products to the public. Now, anyone with a phone can be an influencer, from small creators to celebrities. According to Forbes, the influencer market is worth $250 billion. So now, influencing doesn't sound that bad. 75% of brands dedicate their budgeting to influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is here to stay. It's become better for marketing and it helps brands reach out to other audiences. But this doesn't just include products. This includes sales, trends, and politics. Affects us today.
Now that we know a bit more about how influencers rose and the power that they have over our lives, if we let them, let us turn to Race for his interview.
Recently, I spoke with Abby Nelson, a professor of communications at BYU Idaho, specializing in digital and social media, to get her insights. Yeah, our guest on Stratazine today is Sister Abby Nelson. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Sister Nelson is a communications professor at BYU Idaho, and before that, she was a brand manager and a creative marketing manager. Today, we'll be talking about the pros and cons of influencers and digital branding. So, our first question today is, How did you get your start in the digital media space?
Yeah, we were just talking about this, but
Yeah.
I graduated from UI Idaho with an emphasis in PR and immediately went into digital and social media. It was first entry level job right out of college and worked for an agency in luxury wedding PR and then interior design. It was kind of this whole little niche that was really fun. And then from there, I realized I like internal marketing. And so then I went and worked for Kimberville Designs and then on to Stanley, Premium Western Forage. And both of those were internal marketing positions, brand management, creative marketing manager, and then working here. So, yeah.
Our second question is, what are the most important things to do for someone to grow a brand?
Yeah. This is always the answer I give, and it's always backwards, right? We think growth and we think let's anything everything. And my very first thing is find your niche and find that one single thing that makes you different and identify your target audience and give them that solution. So identify that pain point, give them a solution, and then that helps you actually grow because you become that expert in that industry.
Thank you. Our third question are, what do you believe are some of the positive and negative influences of influencers?
Yeah, effects of influencers. So positive, right? We live in such a unique time where people, literally just regular people, can become an influencer in social media, and it creates such a relatability and a role model in a way that allows people to actually see products in use that we haven't seen before, right? And that's a benefit to a business to be like, let me send it to someone's home and show a product in someone's home. And then there's that community building, right? People are able to then connect with somebody. So I always find that such a positive. And then just this niche, really niche marketing that we've been able to do on social media. So you can follow an influencer exactly what you want to do. Maybe right now, really into sourdough, right? So it's like, I'm going to follow somebody that's making sourdough every day, watch their tips and tricks, and find different influencers in that space. Or maybe you're really into cars and you find somebody that's, really that and that certain brand or certain type, or maybe it's a certain year of a car, and you can find accounts that really dive in and specialize. So I feel like that's a huge positive of influencers, right? It's just that big community, but also a community for you.
Mm-hmm.
So your next question is negative effects, right? Yeah, with all social media, right? This could be a whole day topic, right? But if we do it right, if we really build a community and we really find a niche, I think just the negative effects, honestly, is just that unrealistic expectation that we see on social media, right? We only see the highlight reel. So, and that's just becoming more media literate and being able to say, okay, is this reality or is this just a really great picture cropped in or a really great moment of someone's life? But we have to realize everybody has 24 hours in a day and 7 days a week, and I'm only seeing a little teeny portion of an influencer life. So that I always feel like is kind of one of the biggest things, just unrealistic expectation. Maybe some other things you could say is just that over commercialization, which comes with that unrealistic expectation, right? Of, oh, we've glamorized something that maybe didn't need to be glamorized.
Okay, so our fourth question is, do you believe that becoming an influencer is a viable career option?
Yes and no. I honestly believe you need to start in content creation, and becoming a content creator is a viable career option. If you go in, I think with anything, right? If you go in with this high expectation of I'm going to become the next influencer, you might not get there. But if you really love what you're sharing and you can connect with an audience and become that content creator, you can now, through affiliate links, through other programs, you can have a revenue stream on social media, and that's new, right? It used to be you had to hit that 10K. That was like the magic number, and you no longer have to. So just becoming a really great content creator, I think, gives your ability to then influence people and then build up to what you want.
Awesome. Thank you. Our last question is, what skills do you think would be most beneficial for people to learn now before launching such a career?
Yes, content creation, start there. And that encompasses photography, video, editing. Become a really great writer. Become a writer in the fact that I know who I'm talking to and I can tell them about it, right? I can be conversational. I can tell a story, right? Ultimately, social media is one platform, but if we look at the digital space, we always come back to really great storytelling. And so if you can become a really good storyteller, I would say that's one of the main skills, strategy. I always say that. We just want to become really good strategists. And that's creativity in its finest, right? When we can take something and say, let's make a strategy around this, or we have a new product come in, and what's the strategy look like? Or, oh, I want to grow here. What's my strategy behind it? Oftentimes this conversation comes up, right, in my beginning classes. And it's right when they're getting into it, and I always look at them and I'm like, don't just post to post. Have a strategy behind it. Why are you putting that out? Who is it for? That just makes your content personal to you and different from someone else's content. So, and being able to make that strategy. The other one is time management and discipline, right? Those, and I use those because, and you've taken a class from me, but we often talk about consistency often. And so being able to be consistent is actually really just good time management skills and saying, yes, I understand my brand, but now I can manage it and I can get it up and be consistent. And then final thing I would say is know your target audience, know how to identify your target audience, know who they are, I use this analogy in my classes, but become a best friend with your target audience. And then guess what? That's your community. And it's fun to hang out with your best friends, and it's fun to talk to your best friends. So that's how social becomes. It's just this awesome community.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for taking the time to share your expertise with Strazine. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Our tip and tool for this week is directly related to our topic of this discussion. Meredith will show us of how being an influencer can be done with very little equipment.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Strategy Tips and Tools segment. Today we're diving into the world of TikTok and finding different trending and most searched topics. Okay, if you go to the search bar and search up Creator Search Insights, as I'm doing now, you will get to this page. You'll then go ahead and click on the view button, and it'll open up this page, and it will show the Creator Search Insights within the app. This shows what people are searching the most in the app. The page may look confusing at first, but I'm going to explain it to you. The suggested tab is just the basic, not super filtered, common search results. Starting with the All tab, it's just random search results. As you can see, it will show you what's on the rise in popularity with the red arrows. For example, I love lip gloss is on the rise 37.7%. Then we're going to go to the content gap section. Content gap shows you what people are searching the most and what there's little content videos made from. So you want to go to there to make videos so they push out your content the most. And people are looking this up and they want to see videos, so you will be at the top of the list because there's less videos. Then we're going to go searches by followers. This is only displayed if you have more than 1,000 followers, and it just shows you what your followers specifically have been looking up so you can make curated videos for them. Then we're going to go to the trending section. It has all different, more specific categories within the search. For example, you have fashion, food, sports, tourism, and a bunch of other ones. This way you can better niche out your content. So if they're wanting to have tourism videos, then you go to this tab and see what people are looking up in tourism. Then is the lifestyle tab, where you can see different popular searches that have to do with lifestyle. You can even create a video by clicking the red camera button to the right. If you have further questions, they have this neat tab up top called Academy. In the Academy tab, they have different videos that can teach you how to best utilize Creator Search Insights in your videos. That's it. This is a wonderful way to see what people are looking for on TikTok and being able to create your videos based on what people are really interested in seeing.
All right, so I've got our industry news update today, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Instagram Reels. So Instagram has just released a new feature that allows users to post Reels with passcodes, so only the private audience can access them. And they're called unlockable Reels. Creators can hide their Reels behind a lock code so that their videos can only be seen by people who have the secret code. For example, in this photo on the left, you can see what an unlockable Reel looks like before and after being unlocked. These reels are only able to be viewed by people who have the code that the creator made. Reels will be hidden to those that don't have the secret code. And this has a lot of benefits for content creation. It allows creators to build excitement and buzz around exclusive content and helps people to connect over shared interest in entertaining content. And as of right now, this feature is in testing and is only available to a few selected creators. And The Weeknd is one of these creators, and he posted a reel using this feature to share a clip from a movie that he's doing. And the passcode is "I can't sing" in all caps. Overall, this feature could be a great way for influencers and other creators who use social media as a great outlet for advertisement. It allows them to keep their audiences engaged and excited. And to follow along with more of these updates about this feature, keep checking the Social Media Today website. I'm Brecken with Strategyne's News Industry Update.
Back to the question of the day. How do influencers help frame social media marketing for brands?
Well, I say the answer is that they help create trust and greater understanding of the brand, as well as help expand a brand's audience.
That's all for this episode of Strategyne. Coming up in our next episode, the topic will be social media, entertainment versus information.